When it's time up, sure. There's just nothing you can do about it. Mnangagwa anga achizamba for the past couple days. Amboziedza kushedza saving generals and retired generals pre-cab farm. Pre-cab farm. Pre-cab farm. I think it's meaning because so that before cab farm. You understand? So pre-cab farm kargu kukwekwe kamnangagwa kaka. Cannot make a meaning in this whole story, in this whole controversy, in this whole nonsense. Right now, 2026, June 2026. So what is happening in Zimbabwe? Information yasvikira pa news desk ichiruudza kuti ministers hobo finally akutanga kupandukira Mnangagwa after what? After the 20-year jail term threat. Kuna vamwe venyu vasingazivi kuti the 20-year jail threat iri kubva kupi. So one of the retired generals who is very popular right now in Zimbabwe, who is known to speak on behalf of the Chiwenga faction, anova iye the retired Lieutenant General Winston Gauke Mapuranga, vakapinzira pa Twitter 2 days ago vachitaura kuti all of you my MPs on an individual level, nemima ministers on an individual level, vari kusapota CAB 3. Remember, this is a coup against the constitution, and we are going to tell you kuti kana chiregime chenyu chamunangagwa chamuri kusapota, chamuri kuzama kupusha, chiri kupusha ka CAB 3 kana kakatadza karegime kenyu, kana tuma constitutional amendments twenyu twamuri kuzama kupusha tukatadza kupinda, one thing is going to happen to all of you vatengesi. Tiri kuzokupai nothing less than 10 years in prison. So minimum 10 years in prison, and then tobva takupai also ne maximum 20 years in prison. Zimbabwe, inini pachangu on a personal level, when you supergalo ndakambogara mujere, and ndoda kutaurirai jere harisi is not even for one day. Ukanziwo 24 hours uri mujere dzopera waiuwira zvakare, because it's painful. Anditi. So kana ukazonzwa kumana chiprofesa da iwe toda kudambura ne 10 years and above to the maximum 20 years. Of course, atizokupakana kuti 30 years or 40 years. Toda kupa to the maximum 20 years. But you have to understand kutuma MPs twese turi mukati me ZANU-PF, turi mukati me even Triple C, vapfana vakatengwa naChabangu. In fact, Chabangu anaotenga vanhu, wakangovhundusira vanhu. He just took position of something, and then my MPs, some of them, they followed and said, you know what, whatever, we're just going to be Triple C under Chabangu. But if you openly come out, says Ziambi, that's the unfortunate thing. Kuti, members of parliament are not going to vote secretly. Otherwise, my party whips. This Ziambi, Minister of Justice, a ZANU-PF man, that's very unfortunate. He made that decision because now wapinza each and every individual MP, nema ministers, under danger, extreme danger. So even them themselves, they are not willing to betray themselves. They know if they come out supporting CAB 3, and then CAB 3 at the end of the day yomiswa, Vanachiwenga they take over, these guys will be in serious trouble. 10 years minimum mujere. Zimbabwe pakaipa right now. Ndoda kuti munzwisise these things. Right now tichitaura kudai so. Let's talk about Friday. Last Friday yapfuura. What was going to happen on that last Friday yapfuura? What was the plan? The plan of the Mnangagwa faction yanga iri yekuti this constitutional amendment bill number 3, CAB 3, revotegwe and then get signed into law by Friday last week. But as of right now, the truth is, arisatra votegwa, and as of right now, it's another Monday, and mangwana is Tuesday. Vakomana decided kuti CAB 3 arisikuzo votegwa in parliament, arisikuzo debate on parliament until Tuesday. The reason why is that vanhu vakata sana Tino Machakairi, vana Jacob Mudenda, vana Ziambi, people who are known to be the frontiers, people who will be running in front in support of CAB 3, vakapiwa ma death threats, We don't support death threats. We don't support violence or anything. We want utongi hwejekerere, we want democracy, we want vana Nelson Chamisa kana vavotegwa nevanhu, let them rule. Because if people who are voted by the people come into positions of power and be the presidents, the good thing is that if those people start failing or go against the people, we the people again, we can vote them out and vote somebody new into power. That's what democracy is all about. So mukaona Jacob Mdenda wakutanga kuopposa Mnangagwa and the regime and the whatever the faction in their plans, you have to understand tuma death threats tukunzi twakasendwa happens to be real. It's not surprising to us. And kuti kwanzi paitika ma death threats asendegwa wana Jacob Mdenda, asendegwa pana ana Tino Machakaire, azvitishamisi. You know why zvisingatishamisi? Because the same regime iri in power, this same regime yatutaona, it's a military regime. And Mnangagwa is not the military regime. The military regime, the head of the military regime is Constantino Chiwenga himself, the vice president of Zimbabwe right now. So azvitishamisi kuti tinzwe kuti kwanzi vanhu vari kusapota Mnangagwa in trying to take off the regime iripo right now yemasoja vaakupiwa ma-death threats. Of course they're gonna get death threats. Why? Because it's the military regime iri in power. What every Zimbabwean right now is praying for kuti iyo military regime iri kutungamirwa naChiwenga change itself, look forward into the future and say, you know what, we are going to bring a better civilian government. Because Mnangagwa was never a civilian government. Boys rangu. Mnangagwa was ZANU-PF. And ZANU-PF is not civilian government. Maybe back then, in 1980, ZANU-PF was actually a real civilian government, loved by the people, voted for by the people. But anything beyond that, think about 1990. I don't think ZANU-PF really got all those votes, majority votes. Maybe it did, 1980. But 2000, believe me, pakatosara kuitwa inodya tuti land reform muna 2000, ZANU-PF was no longer the majority holder. No, Zimbabweans, under direct influence of themselves, by themselves, kushtonga kuzere, they wouldn't vote for ZANU-PF. They would vote for something else that brings them more options, more freedom. And I love Zimbabwe. And a lot of us Zimbabweans, we love Zimbabwe, and I know this. And the pain goes straight to the head, goes straight to the heart of Zimbabweans who truly love Zimbabwe, who believes even kuti AI, artificial intelligence, was going to bring more unity amongst Zimbabweans, was going to bring more transparency amongst Zimbabweans in the government, outside the government, tenders, etc. AI was going to bring more transparency, more fairness, more justice. But I think as of right now, if you look at it clearly, you can see there is a lot of manipulation, a lot of nonsense happening in the government. Mnangagwa is doing nothing. Mnangagwa is loved by nobody. Mnangagwa, all he can do that can make him a hero, or a hero is another word now. What can make Mnangagwa a human being, normal, accepted by the people, is just giving up and withdrawing Cap 3. Kupinzira kwakaita Cap 3, even right now, that issues pamzinda weZimbabwe pakafana panapa tutaura about Cap 3 is a failure to Mnangagwa and his regime and his cabal and his family. Vana auxilia Mnangagwa, vana Shon Mnangagwa, and it's everybody else. It's a big failure because these guys have failed to understand reality of Zimbabweans, justice and peace and equality. They have failed. Nekubudisa ka Cap 3 vachikapusha chikati ngakaite mtemo vatadza havanzwisisi vanhu. They are nonsense. So mure Zimbabwe ndoda kuti tichivharisa this broadcast, ndini wenyu super galo pano pamuzinda wavanhu inside Africa, oro utiona pa the Mutapa Times pa YouTube, or Inside Africa TV pa YouTube, or wherever you are watching us from, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Make sure you subscribe, you become part of the family. Thank you for being paying members. Peace.